subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.
So here is the box, and what's nice about Apple's stuff is that they have a pull tab here, so you don't need any fancy knives or anything to get your Apple Watch out of the box. And it's always painful sometimes to break apart these beautiful boxes. Now my plan here is to use my existing watch band, and I bought a different color than what I have now. And I kept everything super basic here. So this is the GPS watch, but not the cellular one. And the reason I do the lower cost watches is that I'm replacing them every 2 or 3 years. And I found that that's about as long as you can go before your watch really gets scuffed up. So the difference between the cellular watches and the non-cellular ones, beyond the fact that there's a cellular radio built in, is that the lower priced watches have a glass face, whereas the more expensive watches have a sapphire face that will not get scratched as often. So that's really the big difference here. So we're just gonna pull this off of here and take a look inside the box. This is the watch part, and then we have the band beneath it. And I went with just the same band I have now, just the silicone band. They have a new one now that's like a single piece that's not adjustable, but I found it was too complicated to buy that one. You had to go measure your wrist out, and I'm never good at doing that stuff, so I just kind of went with the basic thing here. So this is the watch itself. It's all nice and protected inside of this protective covering here, so we're just going to push it out here. Oh, it's in there pretty good. So there you go. It looks almost identical to the one that I have now, although it looks like it has more sensors than the current one. And I think my existing band should fit in there just fine. I'm just going to set this aside for 1 second. I'm hoping it's got a charge. If not, we're going to have to charge it up first. This is the charging cable, and it looks to me that this is similar to the prior iterations. Yeah, it looks pretty similar to me. My understanding is this new one charges faster, although on my desk I have a third-party charger from Belkin, which I'll make sure that this still works with later tonight. I should say on my nightstand. So at night I just take the watch off and put it on that stand. But this should, I think, work with that, so we'll see. And then we have here the band, and I got the white sport band just to have something different from a color standpoint. And my old watch I think I'm going to give to a friend of mine, so he'll just have to buy a new band and kind of go from there. This is the one box that they did not make as easy to open. So let's get this out here and see what the band looks like. And typically with these you have 2 different bands here. So I have a smaller wrist, so I usually go with the smaller one here, but if you have a larger wrist, they give you 2 different lower portions in the box, so you can figure out which one fits best for you. And there you go. I should mention too that this is the larger of the 2 watches. This is the 44 millimeter one. My wife has the 40 millimeter, which is the smaller one. But you can see here, it's obviously the same size as the last iteration. And I found this works pretty well. Even though I don't have large wrists, I found that this size works pretty good for me. So there you go. All right, so I'm going to get my band attached now. So I'm just going to, take the old band off. Let's see if it fits. And this watch has certainly seen better days. The band is kind of beat up also. So let's pop that out there. And I'm just going to pop it in here. And it's kind of crazy putting an old band on a new watch, but I like this band. It fits. I like the color. And if I want to change it up, then I'll just put the white one on later, I guess. And we'll put this on the top here. And it works perfectly. So if you have an older band, no problem. They seem to work just fine. So you're good to go on that. So let's fire this thing up now. And then we'll get going to configuration. I'm hoping I don't have to charge it, but it might be the case that we will. Oh, there it goes. All right, it's starting to boot up. And while that's booting,